What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into /. So this is a part 2 for Void Linux, and one thing I didn't mention and has been mentioned in my comments is the LibreSSL. So SSL being closed source is okay, but OpenSSL was a thing, and there was a few vulnerabilities, and the OpenBSD team did a good job of forking it and creating LibreSSL. Again, this is an open source version of SSL, and as I've said in other videos, open source is, of course, more secure because you have more eyes looking at the code and more people being able to spot bugs and vulnerabilities and fix things. So LibreSSL is what Void Linux uses, which is awesome. Anyways, moving on. There was a few versions of Void Linux that I tried, and one version was xfce. Now, this is a pretty good version. It is very low on resources. If you like xfce, it gives you a very basic desktop to work with. The updates you have to do yourself manually because there's no built-in updater. However, let me just log in here. You can see, yes, I'm connected. Thank you. If we look here, the resources used 288 megs of RAM, which is pretty cool. But like I said, there's no updater. If you look in the system tray, it is just the network manager. And of course, I also themed this quite heavily. This isn't what it looked like out of the box, so it was just a matter of downloading a few themes. I downloaded Arc, I downloaded Paper. I didn't mess with the fonts, but changed a few things to make it look nice from the default xfce, which is what you get out of the box. So it is what it is. I'm pretty happy with how you can get it to look and everything that's included with it. And of course, just download whatever else you want. So next thing that I wanted to touch on was building your own Void distro / desktop. So I basically just installed only the, let me see if I can bring it up here. This is the basic version of Void. This is not, come on, where's my browser? There we go. If we go here, this does not include a desktop. This does not include anything. Let me go to the downloads, show you really quick where it was. Void Live x86-64 with the date.iso, so no desktop at the end. So that's what I ended up using. And it got me to a very basic login. There's nothing installed here. So you're going to do your login. And first thing you're going to do, as we've done before, is I'm going to install bash completion. Something wrong with my typing today. Enter in your password. I added the Y switch because I literally haven't done anything yet. So you have to do SY the first time just so that it updates everything. So now I've installed that stuff. That just makes things easier in the end. So now I can go into user share xbps, and now I can go sudo nano here. This is the same thing that we did before. mirrors.server central.com /void linux /current. So you are going to, of course, check out the website I showed you in the first video, find out what repo is best for you, and then we're going to test it with a xbps-install with a update. Perfect, so that worked. So now we can go ahead, now that we have a faster repo setup that is closer to us, or at least has a better speed than the default one, now we can go and update our entire system. One thing I'm going to say is that file that I just edited, it can be overwritten by updates. So we're going to sudo copy this into etc xbps, and we can call it whatever we want in here. So that's what I showed you in the first video in etc xbps.d. That is where you would put your own custom things, but I decided to just edit the original config, which you shouldn't do really, but I did it anyways, and and then just copy the same thing into etc xbps.d. That way, you can have it both ways, basically. So now we're gonna do an xbps install syu, and this is going to give you some updates. Do it one more time. I keep trying to do the bash completion, but that's actually not going to work until I've logged out and logged back in again. So now this is doing a much bigger system update. So you can see this is why I updated the repo to Server Central, because this is a much, much faster download server for me. So go ahead, check the list I showed you in the first video, download, or not download, check the region, try a couple, figure out which one is best for you, and use that one. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll get back after the updates are done. All right, so everything's been updated. So let's just do a reboot. And we lose the theming here on the grub menu, but that's okay. Loading kernel 4.18.15, so fairly recent kernel. And this is also going to include the VirtualBox video drivers and whatnot. So pretty quick. I mean, it didn't have to load anything, so I'm already back at the login screen. Let me just quickly adjust my window here. All right, now you should be able to see. So log in. Let's start installing stuff. So we're going to do a sudo xbps-install. As you can see, the auto completion works by hitting tab now, so that's perfect. And we're going to do xorg. Of course, you want your X11 graphics server up and running. Now you can do xorg minimal and then xinit, and you'll have to manually do all your drivers. Make sure you have the right ones, but I'm going to do xorg. It's going to do all of it. Dbus, and we're going to do lightdm gtk greeter settings. What this is going to do is it's going to install all of lightdm, because lightdm itself is a dependency of the lightdm greeter settings. So by just installing this, it installs everything underneath it as well. So then, of course, Openbox itself, obconf to configure the settings, ob menu generator. I'll show you how that works. And tint2 so that we have a taskbar, a panel, nitrogen to set our wallpaper, through our file manager. OctoBPS is a manager. It's the Plasma version for the XBPS packages. So we need that. That will need GKSU to prompt for administrator permissions for the password. And I'm going to pick the xfce for terminal. We also need xdg utils, because that will give you your default applications for like web browser, terminal, etc. And what else? We want a couple of fancy things. So let's say LX appearance, so we can change our themes. LX task, so we have our lightweight task manager. And let's do Compton, so we can do some transparencies and whatnot. That should be about it. If you don't want to do Compton, you can also do xcomp mgr. xcomp mgr is another option, but I'm going to stick with Compton. And password, this will be a couple hundred megs, 172 megabytes. That's not bad. So we'll go with that. Now, of course, yourself, you can customize with whatever else you want. So if you prefer PCman FM for your lightweight file manager, do that. If you just want Midnight Commander, do that. Like, do whatever you want, right? So this is all going to install. It's going to take a little while, so I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to go in and show you real quick how to customize it, and then you have your own Void Linux custom-made desktop. All right, so that's all done and everything is installed. So next step is going to be making sure you are in the home folder, the squiggly home / username, and we're going to do a nano.xinitrc. And in here, we're just going to do exec Openbox session. So Control O, enter, Control X. So this is going to run on login. You're going to exec Openbox session. There you go. Now we enable the services. So in the first video, I showed you how if you go to /etc/sv, your services live here. So you can see the two services I want, dbus and lightdm. These are ones that I want. So we're going to do a sudo lns. We're going to create symlinks. So etc, sv, and lightdm. Do that first. Don't put the last slash. And then you're going to go /var/service/lightdm. Do that, enter your password. Now the lightdm service is going to be able to start, but it won't do it yet. You're also going to do dbus. Now, I didn't explain when I was installing, but dbus is what your desktop applications use to communicate with each other. It's like a backbone for your desktop. So once I do this symlink, then run it, which is managing the services, we'll see the new symlink pop up and fire it up. So do that, give it a second, and here we go. So I can now zoom out because you can see I have stuff up here, even though it's not very pretty. There's no real icons. That's okay. Log in. And here we go. This is our beautiful desktop with nothing on it. So terminals, xfce terminal. If you installed a different one, choose that one. So xfce terminal. Now we have a desktop. So now let's quickly make it pretty. First of all, I'm going to go into config. There's nothing in here but xfce4. So we're going to make Openbox. Okay. Go into it and you're going to nano auto start. When you log in, it's going to automatically start up everything that's in this file. So we're going to do Compton B ampersand. We're going to do tint2 ampersand. And we're going to do nitrogen restore ampersand. Don't forget these. If you forget one, when Openbox starts, it's going to run tint2, and then it's going to wait for tint2 to exit. What the ampersand does is it tells it to run the command and then carry on with the next one. So save that, Control O, enter, Control X, and we can log out, but you know what? I'm going to do octobps. Let's install some things to make things pretty. I'll zoom in here for you guys. So let's go theme. We want a couple themes. So let's take Arc, just right click and say install. Arc. What else do I want? I want, let's take paper. I want paper, GTK, and icon. And that's it. And then let's take wallpapers. The plasma wallpapers. Sure. Let's take those. Yes. Password. I could have also done this in the terminal when I was installing everything else, but this also shows that the OctoBPS is running and things are installing properly. Okay, that's done. So that plasma wallpapers must have been huge because that took a long time. So anyways, let's do obconf. Now I want to change this to arc, our window stuff. We're going to go here and make the font larger. Make the font larger. There we go. It's a little nicer. And if you prefer, you can go dark. Doesn't really matter. Stick with that, I suppose. And if you'll remember, we installed, oh, right, this menu. Let me take care of that menu. So we're going to go OB menu generator, and you're going to go -P, -I, hit enter. That creates a dynamic menu, which also includes icons. So now when we do this, we get a nice little menu. Let me zoom it in because it looks pretty. So we get a nice menu with icons and everything. So let's go nitrogen. And we're going to go preferences, add, and I'll show you where those wallpapers went. USR, share, wallpapers. Just hit select, hit OK, and there you go. Pick one, hit apply, and you're done. So that's done. And let's do LX appearance, which is customized look and feel. And here I can pick arc. Yeah, let's do arc. Icon theme, paper. Apply that. Okay. And you know what? Let's just reboot. So we've done our theming. We've set up our auto start file. So let's just reboot and see what happens. Wait for it. It's exciting, the first reboot. All right, so one thing to note, you are going to see the terminal login screen if your system loads up quicker than the services pick up and install it. So you see the login here, just hold on. Let the Light DM service start up, and then you have your login screen. Yay, now of course this is a boring login screen because it's just black background, but you can customize it. So enter your password, fingers crossed. There we go. So we have a background, we have a panel. If we right click, we've got a menu. That's something I will show you in a second. So by default, when you hit terminal, it wants to run xterm. That's fine. So let's go here because I only installed xfce terminal. So I'm going to trick it. I'm going to do a sudo make a symlink again from user, is it bin xfce terminal to bin xterm. There. So now I basically made a shortcut from xterm, the xterm location, to the xfce4. All right, so transparency, and let's just pretty this up a little bit. This button, by the way, here in the bottom left, that's your your Tint 2 settings. So let's go launcher, let's add file manager, let's add Octo BPS, task manager, terminal emulator, and let's get rid of, where is it? Show desktop name. There we go. It's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. And now I've been using it a little bit, but I'm still only using 152 megabytes of RAM, which is pretty awesome. But then again, nothing else is running, so it's pretty basic, but it works. And you have your shortcuts here for whatever you want. So there you go. A nice little Void Linux desktop. Now you can install your Firefox and whatever else you want, and you've got some decent themes. Another thing to note here, which I almost forgot to mention, your home folder won't have anything in it. So you can create your downloads and whatnot, create all your folders. You can set them with your tools so that they're the default for everything. I'm not going to get into that. Basically, I wanted to make a desktop that you guys can use using Void. And I am running, what am I running? 4.18, kernel 4.18. So that's pretty good. And again, this is in a virtual machine. Don't forget that as well. So yeah, happy with that. I hope you're happy with that. If you want to exit, you would, of course, hit exit. And then at the login screen, you would just say, shut down, cancel. Before I forget, customizing Light DM GTK Plus greeter settings. In here, wait a minute. That's not showing up properly. If you want things to prompt you for a password, by the way, you have to run a policy kit. So go in here, pol kit, install one of these policy kits, add it to your auto start, and then whenever something requires root or password, it's just going to prompt you. It's going to pop up on your screen automatically. So because I don't have that, I'm going to do this, which is the same. And then in here, your theme, pick what you want, your icons, arc, if you want a background, or you just want to make it dark green, save that, close it. And then your login screen will reflect whatever you set it at. So, and that is ugly. Well, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to shut this down now. So there you have it. So Void Linux, complete from nothing to a desktop. What more do you want, right? So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys give it a try. And you can download the xfce, you can download Cinnamon, whatever you want. But if you want to create your own, go right ahead. And most of this, by the way, guys, works with almost any distro. So if you want to do it on OpenSUSE, you want to do it on Arch or whatever, go ahead. It should work. Might have to tweak it a little bit, but that's the general idea. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. One personal and one Linux thing. My wife and I are a few days overdue for baby, so we're just waiting any day now. It's been kind of a crazy week, so any day now it could be gone to the hospital. We could be gone rushing to the hospital. And yeah, we'll have to just see what happens with that. And on the Linux side, I've got 3 new desktops coming up, courtesy of the devs at Manjaro, who are pretty awesome. I've been working with them, talking with them a lot this week, and there's going to be 3 videos coming out for their 3 new desktops, new features, everything. It's going to be awesome, so keep an eye out for that. And I want to thank my awesome Patreon patrons, my executive producers Nuno and Fridinator, and also thanks to Carlos, George, Kit Says, and Ronald. You guys are all awesome. You guys make this channel possible. If you'd like to contribute to my channel and help me contribute to the Linux community, head on over to patreon.com/Dorian./. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and until next time, bash on.